Have you ever seen someone so kind, so gentle, so forgiving, until one day something inside them shifts? They stop apologizing, they stop excusing, they stop bending to everyone else's needs. And in that moment, they don't just change, they awaken. Carl Jung once wrote that the most frightening transformation in human nature isn't rage, violence, or cruelty. It's when a person who has lived their entire life as the world's emotional caretaker suddenly decides to stop being broken. Jung's case studies revealed something extraordinary. He found that people we call empaths, the ones who absorb pain like sponges, carry within them a hidden power. For years, they looked like victims, overlooked, dismissed, taken for granted. But in truth, they are not weak at all. They are weapons in the making. The vast majority of empaths Jung encountered shared a common history: vile homes, miserable relationships, betrayals by the very people in whom they had placed their trust. They existed as emotional shock absorbers, holding everyone else's rage, dysfunction, and sadness. Parents who lashed out, partners who betrayed them. Empaths, he discovered, keep silent mental archives of the people around them. Every insult, every manipulation, every lie, they log it away piece by piece, not because they want revenge, not because they're plotting, but because their minds can't help but track emotional patterns. Most people call this intuition. Jung realized it was more like data collection psychology conducted at a subconscious level. Now here's the disturbing part. These empathic individuals never use this knowledge until something snapped. Jung called this the clarity event, a moment of betrayal so deep it could no longer be ignored. And when that moment came, the empaths did not explode in rage. They did not collapse in grief. They became calm, almost too calm. This is the incident that gave Jung the shivers. And that wasn't the empath's surrender. To calm, it was integration. They stopped denying their perceptions. They stopped silencing their intuition. No longer could they act as though the problem right in front of them wasn't a problem. For the first time, they let their shadow, their repressed intellect, their anger, their boundaries merge with their sensitivity. What came after was not revenge, but truth. With a surgeon's touch, they started showing what they had always seen and kept their silence about: the falsehoods, the patterns, the hidden motives of those who surrounded them. Their words were like scalpels, not because they were unkind, but because they were true. According to Jung, that change was irreversible. Once an empath learns to trust their instincts wholeheartedly, they can never be made to feel duped again. Think about how unsettling that is. For years, these people had been told they were too sensitive, too emotional, imagining things, and now they no longer doubted themselves. They saw reality clearly, and they refused to look away. Jung observed that upon waking, the empaths were selectively empathetic, as he put it. They still cared very, very much, but only about the people who deserved it. They severed toxic family members. They left abusive partners and never looked back. They stopped explaining, stopped justifying, stopped apologizing. And here's what scared manipulators to death. They didn't even have to fight back. Their very presence exposed people. Abusers grew nervous around them. Manipulators avoided them. Why? Because predators can sense when their games won't work anymore. Jung called this the predator's instinct. Just as animals sense danger, emotional predators sense when someone has become untouchable. Awakened empaths radiate a quiet strength that says, "I see you, but I don't need you." And this awakening didn't just change their relationships, it changed their entire lives. Jung followed some of these individuals for years. He saw them rise in their careers, build healthy partnerships, and develop an almost uncanny ability to navigate human behavior. Their intuition wasn't magic, it was mastery of emotional data. They could read people with astonishing accuracy. But here's the most important part. They didn't use this power to destroy others. They didn't become manipulators themselves. Instead, they became what Jung called balanced warriors, capable of profound compassion, yet ruthless when protecting their own boundaries. They didn't lose their heart, they gained a backbone. Jung thought that this evolution was more than just a matter of personal healing. He saw it as an example for the future of humanity. For awakened empaths are something rare, the ones who bring their emotions to bear and feel everything but are not destroyed by any of it. To attempt to face the truth and not turn bitter, to love wildly and not lose themselves. And maybe that's why Jung kept his most detailed notes about these cases to himself, because he realized something both beautiful and dangerous. If every empath awakened, if every sensitive soul integrated their shadow, society itself would be forced to change. Families would be exposed, systems of manipulation would collapse, predators would lose their power overnight. So, if you are an empath, if you've been told you're too much, if you've doubted what you see and feel, here's something to hold on to. Sensitivity is not your weak spot. It is your weapon. And the day you learn to trust it, to wield it, to honor it, that is the day you cease to be a victim and become invincible. Jung bequeathed us a chilling revelation. An empath's biggest tragedy isn't their agony, it's how long it takes for them to recognize that they are powerful beyond measure. The transformation is inevitable. The only question is whether you'll adopt it consciously or if you will leave life to do it for you. So do you apologize for what you see, or are you prepared to wake up to the person you always were meant to be? Because once the empath awakens, there is no going back.